Welcome.
I knew I'd do that wrong. Hello everybody and welcome to your live stream for the D2CL. I am Toby1. I'll be your host for the English live stream tonight. Let's go directly to the game because, well, I kind of want to see this. I'm a little bit late getting into the game as I realize also my levels are a little bit too low, but I'll crack that up a little bit more so everyone can enjoy the dulcet tones of my voice. Alright, we're in, and we're going. We're live. Had a couple of fun things on the way to work tonight, and obviously getting a lot of stuff underway because we also had our ESL stuff which was starting today, and also D2CL right here, which is a great series of games tonight. I'm actually looking forward to casting this game. I have asked, I've been trying to get us a couple of other co-casters. Loader and Mad were both considering the 22 CET, so we might actually have them join me later on this evening. As far as our two games go tonight, we have NiP doing a double header. So they're up against both Burden United as well as the Hellraisers Dota 2 team. So great gaming all round. NiP displayed fantastic teamwork last night. We were also looking at NiP. I want to look at them for consistency. More than anything else, it was really consistency was the important thing for me. And they had it pretty much in droves last night. There was a couple of points where you could say they made some questionable decisions because they were just looking to push the envelope a little bit further than the envelope would literally deliver. So I could understand them doing that. But at the same time, yeah, I'm overall very happy with the way NiP are performing. I'm loving the way, too, that they don't just draft these lineups which like, sit back and we just wait for things to happen. We did see a bit of a failure on the Luna last night, where it was this missing of the timing to get the push in,
Radiant team pick,
which was a little bit frustrating more than anything else. Also, just turning up the in-game sound so you should be able to hear it nicely. Let me know how it's like. I got the chat over on the side, so I'm watching everything that's going on. Hopefully it'll all work according to plan. I'm in our third studio, which has been gathering dust while Cap and I have been away, and Dirk has been using Studio 2, so no one's given it the good loving that it really deserves. And I think someone else has also in here before. So yeah, let me know if everything is working 100% fine. Yes, but Ninjas in Pajamas, they go for this really solid draft where you've got this really great push, or you've got like what Team Empire did last night. They were able to keep up with that kind of play, where Team Empire were running a trip initiator. They ran VS, Lina, as well as the Sand King, because they like running Yoki as that Sand King on the off lane, because it just gives them that bigger initiation. But Ninjas in Pajamas, their team fight positioning's been really great. And that's what I want to see tonight. And with their lineup, I don't think their positioning is really that important with the heroes they've got. With a Luna, a Witch Doctor, as well as a Chen, like, okay, yes, positioning is important. So before anyone basically decides to fail fish that one, yes, it's very, very important. But when you got a Chen and a Witch Doctor, you got so much survivability. You got great ways to keep Burden United basically locked in. Because between Paralyzing Cask and the Chen army moving up, you're not really going to find some great movement across the map into the team fights. And when you've then got the Witch Doctor heal and the Chen heal, so your initial damage it's not really as effective as well. So Puck can come in and just burst damage him, but Hand of God goes, and you're not really having much of effect. And then Viper being picked up. They got better ways to, again, control up Burden United. They did this, almost this exact same draft last night, in fact. I want to pull that up just over on my side reference screen at the moment, because, yeah, with this game last night, give me results. NiP versus Empire. That should be it right there. They ran the Luna draft. Okay, I don't have... wait.
Remaining.
Okay, it must have been their game before that then. It wasn't their game up against Empire. It couldn't have been. It wasn't the Na'Vi vs Alliance game, was it? Yeah, it was the Na'Vi vs Alliance game. And they ran a Luna. Oh, that's right. That was that game when both Blitz and I were wondering why they weren't picking up Dro Ranger, because it would have basically won them the game. But it was a very... I'm actually not going to say it's a similar draft, because that draft was all about winning lanes, and then they lost their lanes, so it didn't really work out as well. In this game, though, it's all about team fight survivability and the ability just to force them back. That's where NiP is getting their strength. But Burden United, we're pulling something out of my nuts right now. He's the one who's drafting. So Phantom Lancer, Bristleback, Dazzle, Puck, as well as Vengeful Spirit. Remaining. A lot of survivability. Very difficult to find a good hero that can offlane against the PL or can kill him off. Okay, now that is a good pickup. I haven't seen a Tidehunter. At least I haven't cast a Tidehunter in a very, very long time. So it's great to see him straight into the game, going towards that offlane. And one of the old heroes that Sing Sing used to play a lot. In this case, it's going to be in the hands of Johannes, obviously, because it's being picked up by NiP. So they run Era as this safe lane Luna, puts Chen down further south. In towards the mid, we had the Viper, and then the Witch Doctor will be our final one as well. While over towards our boys from Burden United, because they're all a burden to each other. Paris, also known as Soshka, formerly of all the French teams, used to play with Bucking Mad. He is going to be playing up the roles of Bristleback. We have Necroman, one of the highest ranked players in Europe. Very, very high up in the MMR. He'll be playing up the role as the Puck. My Nuts, formerly member of a whole bunch of teams. He'll be there as the Dazzle. Plus, come with me into the support role as the VS. And Sing Sing taking up the role as the Phantom Lancer. As BU will move into the enemy jungle. They want to try and contest NiP as early as they possibly can. Well, they are really just going to lock him out. And that means 100 Rune on the bottom lane is going to belong to BU. It looks also like an aggro tri-lane, or at least a dual lane. Dual lane is something which Burden United can get away with. So Sochka is able to get up close and personal with someone like the Luna. It might, in fact, just lean it, because if it really is Sochka on the off lane, it means you have a Puck in the mid. You could then technically get away with running a Luna in towards the mid. Era is no stranger to the mid lane. He was running the Shadow Fiend there last night. But it looks like they're just going to throw the Viper there anyway and play it the safe game. Because the Viper could then potentially just try and harass out the Bristleback directly. And that's what I was looking for. Alright, I'm hoping everything is... I'm just double checking. Yeah, we're not dropping any frames. We're good. I think we're good. Yeah, can't change the UI. It's the D2CL. It's their UI. Alright, so into our lanes we go as I've finished just doing my double check to make sure everything's good. Already limp. Yeah, this Puck is so screwed. As far as a laner to go up against the Viper, he's got no chance in this whatsoever. The only prayer right now for BU is the fact that their offlane is able to find a lot of CS. Because the Puck's just not going to find any timing. The Viper's doing the right thing. He just gets 1 point up in Poison Attack, 1 point up in Corrosive Skin. So the Puck can't really damage the Viper out. The Viper also is, he's probably going to run a bottle sometime soon. Looks like he brought himself an extra set of tangos. This is something which I saw NiP do last night, where they don't buy the set of tangos straight away. I don't know if it's... I didn't actually double check to see if it's for a certain item, because he gets like a couple of set of tangos, the Wraith Band, as well as 2 branches. So it's not as though he's going to be really... Actually, he's just short of money to get the extra set of tangos. I think. Yeah, he's just short of money to get the extra set of tangos. But it allows him to be over-aggressive in that mid lane. Push him back, just zone out the Puck. He's 1 for 3, which is quite impressive considering how heavy up in the face Limp is trying to be here. In fact, even with that creep wave coming under, Limp is not really holding the advantage. Like a 3-3 up against a 6-2, obviously the advantage is his way, but that doesn't mean he's holding it perfectly in the mid, and First Blood will be on bottom lane. So the Luna able to get the pickup. Paralyzing Cask, didn't matter how many Quill Sprays are going to get at that low level. Even on 1 level up in Voodoo Restoration will deal with the Quill Spray stack damage. And they had the Chen to keep the control up. With Era's only 1 point up in Lunar Blessing, which is completely fair enough when you're only 2 minutes in. But that means the 2 points up now into the Lucent Beam. His chip damage is really good. Also getting that mini stun might just buy enough time for the Troll Trap to get into position. Viper's getting pushed back a little bit. Okay. You guys want me to notice this? And I have actually seen it. But I was just hoping they would buy one. I should have probably flagged this before, instead of just sitting there hoping not to make them look like fools. My Nuts is now going to go back and buy a courier. They started with no courier. For some unknown reason, they started with no courier. I don't know why. I do not know why. Now they finally have a courier. It wasn't really going to make that much of a difference because the bottle timing for the puck, he's only just hit it anyway. So they don't really lose anything by not having the gold. Nothing was going to fly up to Sing Sing because he built his items to just upgrade them from the side shop. The Bristleback might have been one of those things, but he was also stick charging this off lane. So it's also, it kind of feels like it should be a big thing, but it's not. It really isn't. Okay, just for my comfort as well, guys, in the chat, Twitch chat, give me a thumbs up if the stream is going well right now, as far as the quality. That's the main thing I want to check. Game sounds and quality. That's what I'm searching for. Oh, Viper. Just with basic boots, he's easily got the movement speed over. Oh, wait, you can go for that. He's going up for the rune, but there's still a large amount of damage that Limp could do. He's going to be happy just to farm the lane up. But with the illusion rune coming into the park, he's going to feel very happy with everything.
Not so fast.
Alright, so 4 minutes in. The Phantom Lancer is light years ahead of everybody else. Sing Sing is just farming like a beast on this PL. And they're giving him the space to find levels now. So he's able to get up to those high levels up in the Juxtapose. The crazy thing is how many illusions this PL can make and how difficult it is to gank him. Like, you've picked up a Tidehunter on this off lane. Now, that's pretty damn good for laning up against the PL until he's able to start spamming at his Lancer. So if there's a little bit more mana that can be given over to him consistently, then this Tide's going to have a pretty hard time. At the same time, okay, that's a lot of time for that. The Phantom Lancer, when the Tide comes in for the Ravage, the PL with this new Doppelganger ability, like the reappear delay, you get a full second where you're basically invincible. You can't attack, you can't do anything like that, but it's just because you're able to, like, you stand your ground. You go in, you go out of this. It's like a phase shift. Okay, as I'm saying that, there is a kill in the mid lane. I probably should have been watching that rotation. It's actually Puck and VS going together, but the Chen was right behind him. Looks like he was busy farming up at the time. That's might have also been the reason why the Viper died. The VS picked up smoke just before that, so yeah, my eyes should have been looking for that. I'm very, very distracted. I'm sorry, but thanks for the thumbs up, boys. Thanks for the thumbs up. I can now cast in peace. Era. This could be a kill right now. With Lucent Beam and all of his damage, I think my nuts is aware of this. One more Lucent Beam and he'll die. But the Poison Touch level 1 and the fact he picked up boots means he has enough movement speed to get away. Seal Kid may not be so lucky. There's no Dream Call available, but now in comes the Chen. They want to try and lock him down. Bristleback makes the right choice. Soshka, he would have had the paralyzing cask bouncing between him as well as the Puck, so decided not to do it. The Puck actually holding up to the high ground. He has more support here from Come With Me, but there's a decent army available for the Chen. Not a huge amount of damage to come out from, like the Satyr Blast does some nice work, but my nuts will be fine, and because they've chased him that far, now the Puck, he still has no Dream Call, is 16 seconds away, but with that orb to rift in, they bring down the Witch Doctor. So he's out of this fight for now. They do Troll Trap over on the Bristleback, so the offlaner of BU, they will drop as well as just tip for Tat. Well, then again, we need the following Tat to go in, but it's all going to go tit right now for BU as they take 3 heroes in this bottom lane fight, baiting out NiP perfectly. This is not the NiP we saw last night. The NiP that we saw last night would never have chased down that far. You could see it was bait. Like, that was Admiral Akbar level, oh my god, the shields are still up moment. You realize that they're trying to get you to move down into the river because you saw the Puck orb go this direction, which means this area is controlled by BU, and this area is controlled by BU, and you try and run heroes down the river, you're going to get in a 3-way sandwich. And that's not the situation you can be in, because you'll just end up dying time and time again. And NiP, they weren't even fully ready to fight. Now, the Tide has level 6, so he has Ravage. He can come and join the fight. But the one person that didn't is this man who is now farming up what appears to be a Vladimir's offering. Will work beautifully for the Bristleback, in fact, for his entire team. It's good basic mana regeneration, and of course he built the treads. It's not meant for split pushing. It's actually meant for, I don't even want to say quick Roshan. It's just meant to destroy. because your aura's going to be fantastic. You do some great pushing in. Puck, Orbit, Silence it, Dream Call it, caught 2. The Rav's going to come to phase shift. The timing was off. Sing Sing also got caught by this one, but with the Lance, he'll pick up the Tidehunter. They did lose the Puck for this one. Sing Sing has the option of turning around, but with Era with Eclipse up and running, one lose a beam, he's already got the kill on Come With Me. So it buys time for Seal Kid to get that last attack in.
Your bones will
So Sing Sing just left his teammates for dead after they got him the kill on the Tidehunter. They did manage to blow the Ravage and force the TP out by the Luna. So that's an upside because it buys Soshka a lot of space on bottom lane. So he can get... Oh, he's almost at treads. Just shy by 10 gold.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But Burden United. They're making some decent plays. That would have been fantastic if we saw the Doppelganger as well as Phase Shift both dodge Ravage. Because that's what I was expecting then. Middle lane. Necroman is in so much trouble. With the Centaur, able to get the War Stomp off. He got caught in between Jaunt and Phase Shift, so the puck will drop pretty easily. Kind of looked way too easy for the gank it was.
Dire's middle tower
I'm still going to say that this guy right here, Sing Sing, is going to carry this game so hard. He is going to he's going to destroy the Luna. The Luna is wonderful up against like illusion-based heroes because you're able just to take care of. Are they? No, they're not. Not unless Soshka gets way over aggressive here. Because you've got the bouncing glaives, you can take care of illusion heroes. But the problem with the illusion heroes or the Phantom Lancer, with the way they work now, you're not trying to stop the push. Like, all you try and do is stop the amount of damage which is coming out from these illusions. Because the way they get creative with Doppelwalk as well, with the Doppelganger, as well as the Juxtapose combination with the Spirit Lance too, you're just basically able to fight everybody. Because you're jumping in and out of this saving invis every single half second. It's... not every half second. I'm exaggerating greatly. But every 10 seconds, you can be immune for 1 second. Which means your survive building the fight's fantastic, and it adds a chaos factor because you create 3 things. The 2 illusions as well as obviously yourself coming back up. So with that, NiP have to try and work out which one's the real one. One of them dishing out a crap ton of damage, and the other one not so much damage, but rather tanky. And if you also include a Diffusal Blade onto this, so then you've basically got an instant 4 units, which will replicate out very quickly because you got Doppelganger as well as Lance and then Juxtapose. If you can combine that with a Diffusal Blade, which for me is the preferred build over on the PL, but most players I have been watching haven't built into the Diffusal Blade. I just love it because it gives you such an overwhelming advantage when the fight begins. And the fact it's also this. How many melee heroes do we watch that are just incapable of... okay, where exactly are they going to fight this one? I'm trying to work out. Is it up on top or is it down on bottom? The tower's down on bottom. But NiP, when they do these pushes, they don't stop. They just keep going. Yeah, you basically take away all the mana of one hero at the start of the fight. That's why I just see this PL as so powerful. So powerful. And it's not a Sing Sing fanboy. I'm not even a fanboy of the hero. You just have to respect where the hero has strength. Come with me. Has he got enough control? The Puck's going to try and jump in. There is a setup blast he possibly could have thrown out then. The Chen army would just pull his army back to him. He could have kept it up there. But he had no more control mechanisms, so battling up against Come With Me. If he threw a setup blast and then the Luna can get in range for just one Lucid Beam, potentially you'd have a kill. But he had no risk of his Chen army because he can just always drag him back. Well, I say always. Now we can. They just keep moving in deeper. He's going to lose a Centaur. Okay, that's 2 creeps just gone from this army. They take out the mid-tier 1 tower. At the same time, I'm not going to say that's a... It's great for NiP, they're raking in the dough, but you've still got PL free farming up on top lane, and Soshka is now taking out the Ancient stack. It wasn't contested, and this will bring him, at least up to level 8 now. It's giving him some much needed money. Okay, Sing, where are you headed to? He's going, wait, Sing, not your base. Well, why is he coming down here? Sing's gone AWOL. I know because every 10 seconds you can go in, Vince. That doesn't mean you should do it, Sing. He's gonna try. I don't know, Sing. What are you doing? Well, why? It's not as though he was under pressure.
is under
He had a
attack.
TP scroll. He could have just done his little doppelganger thing into the bloody tree line and TP'd himself out if he was worried. And even if he was worried, like what, Tide blows Ravage, takes a little bit of damage, and he just doppelgangers into a different part of the tree line. You can't follow him in. He just walked and just throw. I don't know why, but throw.
Radiant structures
It's like he thinks he's playing tiny. He's just tossed his advantage away. And he was a heavy farmer as well.
Radiant's bottom tower
And he gave the kill over to a Tide Hunter, who now owns a Blink Dagger as well. Everything's coming up NiP.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm really lost for words. I don't know why he did that. I'm trying to rack my brain for comprehension, but yeah, I don't know. Tier 2 tower is going to drop on the top lane. They got a trade-off. It was the Tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. But right now you're missing your PL's coming up. But is he even ready to fight? Like, what did he buy? He's building into a Yasha, or either that or an S&Y. We are in the stat world. But the Luna will just move up. You got double tornadoes. You got a lot of tankability. Remember, you've also got the level 3 up in the Voodoo Restoration, so they can keep the Radiant Creep Wave alive a lot longer. And no one from Burden United wants to come close here. The Tier 1 tower is trying to be brought down by Sing Sing. It's almost like he's trying to play this game like a Clinks. But he's not a Clinks. So he's taking a while to bring down this tower. He's not making more of himself. And they're still looking to fight in top lane. Era, a little bit of trouble, but there's your double heal. Hand of God, Flush and Meg, Blink into Ravage, big hit, Minus just popped. Russell back, he got a lot of quill sprays off right there, and the Death Ward was helping him out. 16 will jump in towards the battle. Russell actually did so much work in this fight, but even with all that work, it's not enough. The anchor, oh no! Blink to anchor, yep. Johannes realized he was going to be a little bit too far out of that one. He will still drop here. He blew the Ravage. They got a decent amount of kills, and they did get a straight buyback out from the puck. The Tier 3 tower has dropped rather low. And that all came down to what Soshka brought to the fight. The fact that he kept having his back being triggered the entire time meant that NiP were just losing life points a lot faster than they could regenerate them. And they blew both the mech and the Hand of God when the first jump came in.
Radiant's bottom tower
So it was costly for NiP, because they were holding the advantage before this by 3,000 or so. But at the same time, this NiP lineup knows exactly what it's built for. In 96 seconds, they're going to group up again. In fact, they'll probably group up before then and take out another Tier 2 tower outside the map, outside the base of VU. And then just force up high ground. It looks like Sing Sing is going to go with the build I enjoy, which is the Diffusal Blade. That's what that blade was for. I honestly didn't think he was going to. I mentioned it before that the Diffusal Blade is what I prefer on the PL, just because of the advantage it gives you at the start of the fight. But with the Vladimir's up first too, I was wondering if Sing would just attempt to try and go stat build. Alright, Puck gets his good timing and a Blink Dagger. Even with the buyback, he's still able to buy it. So 16 minutes in. Not too shabby. Means finally BU have some level of initiation beyond that of a VS swap. As the Blink to silence the coil. Alright, it shouldn't be long before there's a group up on bottom. Tide Ravage is off cooldown 30 seconds time. I think BU are also realizing this. Like, it's obvious the timing NiP want to go to. As I said, like, they just take the Tier 2 and you go from there. But they make the most out of the Blink Dagger. Tide, well, he kind of wants to get into a position where he can blink. And he thinks, he knows he's dead. He knows he's dead. And there's no way he's going to survive through that. And his mana was burning very, very quickly too, while Sing Sing was sitting on top of him. So BU, it's Roshan time. The Tide is dead, which means no Ravage. No counter against you. You also just picked up a Crimson Guard. So the survivability of BU during the team fights has just gone up a hell of a lot more. Does NiP try and stop this? They've got the double tornadoes coming in again. Minus are being isolated a little bit. There is also the DD rune over on the Viper. So if they do try and find into him, it's just going to trigger. It might actually just trigger anyway. But we should be getting to that time. And BU aren't going to do this. They know they can't go for Roshan with that much pressure. With the double tornadoes on top of them, there's no way as well that they can go in for Roshan. That takes so long. By the time the Tide was back to life again, all he would have to do is just TP out to where he TP'd out now, the Tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, and walk over to the rest of his team. Okay, So, Ravage is up. Era has his Helm of the Dominator, which means if they want to, they can actually have a 5th creep here. Are they looking for Sing Sing? Of course looking for Sing Sing. But the mana's burning off here of the Witch Doctor. He needs to try and keep himself away from these illusions. He can't chase like that. And they've only got one set of Arcane Boots, so getting that mana back up again really quickly is difficult.
Mere coin?
Really, at this point, NiP need to get that BKB over on the Luna. Because she'll take care of all of BU. All she needs to do is just get that BKB. The rest of her team will take most of the damage while she just sits on the back and lets the glaive bounce do the work. I like this from NiP. They're going to try and do it right under the noses of BU. My nuts, he doesn't have an observer board up. They wouldn't have seen this anyway. With one wave of terror, come with me, scouts it out. So they have been spotted with the DD rune and the negative armor on Roshan. They may consider they can finish this. The weave will start from Dazzle as well, and that armor is going to severely drop, but Roshan's already dead. Aegis all into the hands of Era. And Necroman, I don't know where he is really considering going with that orb, but either way, Sing Sing is... he's getting out of there. A quick doppelganger up. Sends his illusions down. But Era will mop that up. And this weave will wear off by the time they reach the tier 2 tower. So NiP are in the perfect position. They've even got a fresh little Alpha Wolf behind them. So the damage output of this Luna is massively increased. Only having to have that 2 points up in the Luna Blessing. Soshka getting scouted at as well by the Viper. Picks up a point boost before the fight begins. So increasing the health and mana pool. These illusions, they just don't survive long enough. In fact, they kind of work against... Necroman, what are you doing in the trees? Now with a Ravage! 4 hitting hit! Him with the Eclipse as well. The Death Ward goes to work. The VS swap will be able to cancel that, but the damage has been done. Sing Sing, the shallow grave from Dazzle. My nuts was able to save him. But still, that Bristleback just imploded. The Observer Ward down, they can see, come with me. There is some mana for the Witch Doctor, because he got 13 wand charges, and come with me knows there's no way out of here. They can see him because of the ward. There's your War Stomp, so the TP will get cancelled. They had a Lucid Beam as well. I don't know if Era really had the full mana for it either way.
Ye of little faith.
That's going to be a tier 2 tower in the bottom, a tier 2 tower in the mid, and the team fight going the way of NiP. Looking very solid in their first game of the night. So the tier 2 tower drops, and this is when NiP back up. They don't have Ravage, they don't have Death Ward, so it's better just to wait for these last abilities to come back up, and by the time they want to fight next time, it'll be BKB for the Luna. And she can walk over, farm up the Ancients, they'll be dead, then she farms them up again. All she needs is enough money for their recipe, and she's good to go. And BU, they have to, well, then again, do you engage? You could try and win this on buybacks. That's one way they could approach this. Just believe that the Phantom Lancer is going to be able to carry you into the late game. Or at least be able to defend from the high ground and cause NiP to have casualties that at the end of the day would just be too much of a trade-off. It's like what happened up on top lane. BU got by far the superior trade up against NiP when they pushed in. So if you can kill off the Luna, and of course the farmed up PL is capable of doing that, then you're okay. But you still need to have your meat shields, you still need to have people that will be able to survive. Puck. Okay. Paralyzing Cut's not going to bounce up to him, but that tied 4 stuffed up. Yeah. He's going to... Nope. Nope. Yes. He should blink Anchor Gush. And that would have been the kill if he got all that to connect onto the puck. But it doesn't. He didn't. So it won't. And already forcing the TPs back. With that tower so low, Soshka has to come back before the creep wave hits the tower. Leave PL as well as My Nuts do their work in mid. My Nuts actually already has gone back. Because he knows the push is coming. And he has to get that weave right now. Has to start up. Already the Crimson Guard's been triggered by Bristleback. He's the only one affected by this. But My Nuts, he got the perfect position. He gets that weave over on Era as well as Limp. Soshka has the passive effect of it. So he's become a lot harder, but with the tower already down, Era wants to try and commit, because the bouncing glaives are going to do some serious work. There will still be a lot of damage coming out from these PL illusions, but all they really managed to do is get through the Aegis the Immortal. The damage on the Soshka is still quite substantial, so he has to sit the back lines. In fact, he has to go all the way back and heal. And in that time, NiP still get their objective they're searching for. They take down 1 Rax, it's only the range, they still want that melee, as Necroman's making it very difficult for Era as more Sing Sing just runs into the front lines. Burning up mana left, right, and center, replicating out. Still a bit of a pain in the ass. But with the bouncing glaives, the supports take damage, and Era, he just wants to chip away at the racks. Like, Mindnuts has to be careful about coming in so close, because he's dropping low. The one lucent beam from Era could potentially kill him. Now the— oh no! Oh, he blinked! He didn't blink. He just ravaged. There was no blink. Now the Eclipse will come out from the Luna. Mindnuts will be protected by himself. With that shallow grave on top of himself, Era, he doesn't really feel like he can keep fighting this one. He doesn't have his BKB, but he has her, or his entire team is going to drop, but there's just too much Sing Sing in here. So he takes out one, he'll move over to a second or third. With a triple kill, they defend. In the mid, the Tidehunter will be TPing out. Even with all the attacks from the towers, it wasn't enough damage to kill him. The melee rank stays alive. And as far as buybacks goes, BU didn't even need to. NiP just forced that way too far. And now you see the power that is the Phantom Lancer. The ability to make so many of yourself, and when you get that juxtapose off, sure you still got an RNG in that, but it was just too many for NiP to deal with. The Luna couldn't deal with them in time. Her damage, her attack rate was not fast enough. And the survivability once the BKB went down was basically gone. Because all she has is the Yasha. If this was a mana style, we might be having a very different kettle of fish at the moment. But this all comes down to what the PL can do. And when Puck can do things like this, if they can catch the Tide out, it's still only Puck as well as a Dazzle. The Weaver will remove his armor. I think that's actually enough. Now, they don't have a great amount of physical damage. If Kawami can reach there for the stun,
I'll take that.
he could even get the kill with the— okay, yeah, he's actually got this. Earn charge, magic missile, and then attack him. Oh, nice Kraken shell proc. Has he got enough? Negative 12 armor. No, come with me. He went the wrong way, and then he blinks. The earn charge is ticking him. He can't heal up fast enough. Just out of time. Sing Sing. There's Doppelganger escape. Sure, you get your malediction. You got your initial stun, but hey, it's the crazy escape mechanism. I almost want to count it as Blink Dagger and Phase Shift put together. BU could just win this game based on the PL. And now with the mana style up and running, there's even more of him. NiP are on a ticking time bomb. They need that Ravage to connect. In fact, I think that was probably the biggest problem for NiP during that top lane fight, was just the fact that the Ravage never connected on anything. I wasn't 100% certain what attacked him to put this Blink Dagger onto cooldown. But the fact happened, the fact remains, that is what happened. And because of that, he blew his Ravage and hit nothing. And Burden United knew instantly that they could capitalize. What are you building into? Come with me. I know you like carry builds, but is a Yasha really what you want to try and go for here? Like, going for a mana style of his own doesn't make a huge amount of sense. But if he is, like, left alone to defend, then, okay, yeah, I can understand Yasha is okay. But over something else that might help your teammates, like Force Staff or like a Blink initiation in would be nice. You do have the mech for your team, or actually, do you? The mech is still being done by the Dazzle. So the Dazzle's trying to build the mech, while Vengeful Spirit is basically close to having it anyway. But yeah, we've got a semi-carry come with me, Vengeful Spirit. Not 100% certain how I feel about this, but it could work wonderfully. Alright, so middle lane push. NiP should really still be going in through the top. With no tower, they still want this melee rack, because that's what's going to give them momentum that will allow them to push out bottom lane. Like, Roshan's got potential spawn time. In fact, he will spawn up in 50 seconds. So count it on the clock. If only they knew. There's no vision, though. Now they see Soshka, but Johannes was too late turning. They want to try and find the puck out, but they're not going to.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
and with the Dire Observe Ward still there, BU know everything that's coming at them. So, no joy. No joy for NiP. They cannot find the opening. That's really all they want to do, is just have one great team fight outside the base. If they can achieve that, then they can just move up and basically take the GG. But they need to make sure there's no Sing Sing. Like, if Sing Sing is like the only one that can throw a spanner and this works. And he's starting into a heart now, so it's gonna be a pretty hefty spanner. At least Era does have his mana style. So he's capable of breaking free of what? Diffusal? A couple of other things for BU. Necro. That all's gonna reach? Yeah, he's over. So aggressive wards get planned down. So I see Soshka farming up over on the Ancients. Silky doesn't want to try and play into that. Doesn't make any sense. But Mynuts wants the farm. Because that's his mech. That's his mech if he can get... Like, all he really wants is the catapult and 2 creeps, and then he's really happy. And that'll give up more survivability for BU, just to hold the line. And Sing Sing, now this is the point he loves it. Level 17 and 5 million PLs appear. And it's going to be a trade-off. Roshan for the tier 2. And that's what we're looking at right now. So goodbye to your tier 2. TP's coming in from the Tidehunter. Sing Sing. Now that's what he should have done before. Doppel walk yourself into the tree line. There's a whole bunch of fake ones chasing down the Tidehunter. His Anchor Smash will protect him a little bit, but he still has mana troubles. And they'll have to get the right timing to deny up this top tower. Because the catapult, actually no, it's not doing enough damage. So they can just deny it. If NiP want to, in fact, it doesn't look like they're going to. They're grouping up. You do have Ravage, as well as you do have Ravage as well as Death Ward. In fact, every ulti for NiP. But what you don't have is mana. Now, this Hunter now picks up a Void Zone. His mana regeneration's in fact not that bad. And until he gets a Refresher Orb, he's not really worried about his mana pool. He definitely has to be worried about his mana pool once he picks up Refresher. He can't take any hits from Sing Sing when that Refresher is up. Because he just won't have the second Ravage. It's that simple. Era. Problematic illusions. They can burn off all the mana from Viper if they want to. He's got 17 one-charges, so he's always going to get a Viper Strike off. And Chen's playing the split push game. So they run the Chen army through the top. Troll Trap over on Back. This may be the first opening with the War Stomp. It is at a blast. Viper Strike. Limp. He started it, but he was just too far away. So Soshka, he won on the range battle. Now he does throw it off, and Soshka is a non-factor. Remember, this is all about how much the PL Illusions are capable of doing. The fortification has to come up to protect the melee racks. These bouncing glaives causing troubles for most of BU when they come in close. But they still have this really high armor. And will it be enough? Hand of God be used. Era's dropping too quickly. Still has the Aegis Immortal. And what have they really got in return? The Viper drops. And that Tide Ravage. 4-star Fin. There's your Ravage. Finds a space. The Dazzle will finally drop his Sing Sing. He's still fighting. He's going to go through the Chen. I don't think they can stop him. Era's back to life again. But the Eclipse, he turns on the BKB. But it's all too late. It is a horrible fight for NiP. They don't even take the melee racks. I almost want to say GG, because down on bottom, the tier 3 tower is gone, and I do not see a way that NiP can breach this. Yeah, PL, BT, TP bottom. I think that's exactly what Sing Sing's going to do. Yep. Even if he just forces buybacks, you've got one Viper, and there it is. Luna does not want to use his, but Sing doesn't care. Like, he's got enough mana he can fight this, and I love that little quick dodge. Just jump down. Actually, that's a mana style dodge. That's where the mana came out, but I mean, he's got multiple versions of himself with the creep wave into the Death Ward, but into the Doppelganger, and Seal Kid instantly has to back the hell out there. You cannot repel PL power of this magnitude. They're just going to rip through him. Sing, it really is. He's going to take bottom racks. The rest of his team can push it through the mid. The puck will jump in. They do miss the silence over on Chen, but they're just going to keep hunting them. Luna comes up, but they're all dead. I don't know what they're supposed to do. And there it is, GG, well played. Game is good, game is golden, but game belongs to the cancel answer. 22-13 will be the end result here. Wow. That's brutal. That is brutal. You could see it coming for the last 10-15 minutes. Even with crazy mistakes, Sing Sing feeding himself underneath the tier 4 towers. You still find that much power out of a Phantom Lance, and you cannot deal with it. The Luna couldn't do the job. She couldn't stand up against the PL, was one of the bigger things. And when PL appears with such speed, heroes like Viper also don't function very well up against the PL. With both Manta as well as Doppelganger, even with the Aghanim Scepter, he wasn't connecting on the Viper strikes. And the Bristleback, like that was the first target Burden United had, NiP had when they pushed in through the top lane. They tried to bring down the Bristleback, and then I think they cottoned on to the fact that Bristleback was only building to be a distraction. So is this guy who's like, I want to be Axe. I'm going to try and taunt you by saying I'm really, really good. And then, nothing. Like, you kill him and you're like, oh, wait. No, he wasn't the person. Like, Dazzle was kind of like a Shallow Grave early god. He was kind of a non-factor as well. The VS, a little bit of a swap, but he was negative armor and aura. That was his primary goal. This really felt like a 4 Protect 1, and that was all. GG. We'll be back in a moment. Short break. And we'll come back for game number 2 of NiP versus Burden United.